Hello, welcome everybody to a second developer stream from Retora. Hi guys, good to see you. Good to see you all. Welcome. My name is Petah. I'll be your host today. I am the community manager for Retora Games, and I am joined by our wonderful cast that we'll get to in just a second. So this stream is specifically going to be about merchant guilds. We recently announced our new game that we're working on, the direct sequel to the original classic merchant game, Merchant Guilds. Today we had questions submitted to us via our forums, Reddit, whatnot, and we'll answer them all today. And this video will be saved and posted later to YouTube. If you don't get to see the stream for whatever reason, you can catch it on YouTube. Retora Games, as some of you may know, or if you don't know, is a small indie game dev company based out of Austin, Texas. We have had a number of games so far created. So obviously the classic Merchant RPG. Now we're working on Space Merchant, Merchant Heroes, and now Merchant Guilds, which is super exciting.
Real quick, Peter, your background music is a bit too high.
There should be no background music.
You got something playing somewhere. It's the trailer. The trailer music's playing.
You might have to repeat that again, like your whole beginning.
Oh, did it? Was it? Well, it was all muted for me. It's audio from the trailer. There's no desktop audio right now except for your guys' mics.
Can you turn off the repeatable trailer in the background? It might be.
Oh, that's probably what it is. No. Yeah, that's probably what it is.
This was the game plan in the first place.
This was the game plan in the first place.
Yeah.
That's my bad.
Hey, y'all.
That's
Welcome
my bad.
To intentionally well played.
It wouldn't be a Retora stream. Last time we did this, I had Siri go off right at the start of me saying like hello and welcome to everybody. So it wouldn't be a true Retora dev stream if there wasn't something wrong.
We must have one.
That's my bad. I'm so sorry. I can't believe I didn't catch that. I'm so used to everything showing up on desktop audio on the mixer.
As long as the bug's been fixed, right? That's the rule. As long as the bug gets fixed, it doesn't matter if it was there.
Okay.
Do you wanna quick redo your intro? And
Yeah. So
that happened?
All right. Don't worry. We'll edit this all out in post. And go. Welcome everybody. Welcome to the Retora's second developer stream. Today we'll be talking about merchant guilds and all things merchant guilds related. My name is Petah. I will be your host this evening. I am joined by this wonderful cast of the Merchant Guilds team. So today's stream will be about Merchant Guilds. Last time we did Space Merchant. Everything that we'll be talking about today, questions, concerns, everything that's been submitted via our forums and Reddit will be about Merchant Guilds. If you want to learn about something else, please go ahead and message us on one of our social media platforms, add us on Twitter, Reddit, whatever, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. But today will be about Merchant Guilds. A little bit about Retora Games is that we're a small indie games dev studio based out of Austin, Texas, with our lovely founder Tyler, and our games are the classic Merchant RPG, Space Merchant, Merchant Heroes, and now we're very excited. We were recently able to announce we're very excited for our third installment, Merchant Guilds, which will be our first multiplayer game. Super exciting. Good to see everyone. My name is Petah. I've already introduced myself. I have joined with me today Jeshua, design/scripter. Say hi, Jeshua. Hey.
Hello.
Terry, artist/VFX.
Hello.
Mario, artist.
Hi.
And Tyler, the guy.
The guy.
Okay.
That's all I do.
That's all you do.
I just guy it up.
Just guys it up. If you want to take us away, Tyler, with State of Union.
Yeah, sure. So just a couple quick things. Just want to make sure this disclaimer is very clear. Merchant Guilds being developed in no way, shape, or form means that Space Merchant or Classic Merchant are being abandoned. Merchant Heroes as well, which is Barrius's game, is also not affected by this. This predominantly came for us on like how to expand on the Merchant brand, how to make a new thing, and specifically how to get into like the world of doing multiplayer. So it doesn't affect the other games. It doesn't mean they're being canceled or anything like that. We are also still planning. I know a lot of people have been asking this. We are still planning on doing things with the original Merchant. So we'll have news about that coming out in the next couple of months. And it is quite possible that some of the stuff that comes out from Merchant Guilds is able to improve the experience of the original merchant, but they will be totally separate games. Like very clearly, they will be. So just want to make sure that's well understood. Couple other little things. We just did a bug update for merchant, fixed a couple issues, added an extra inventory page if you have both the scribe and the frozen tome expansions. I also made a bunch of the character portraits free, so you can now change your merchant person. If you haven't purchased them, you have most of them now. The ARG is done. If you were part of the ARG, thanks for participating. I hope y'all had fun. I had a blast with ARG, so even if everyone else hated it, I got my kicks. So it was a win in my book. The other big thing, there's a Space Merchant portrait contest going on right now on Twitter and Facebook, where if you like, comment, retweet, do all those things, you can have a chance to become a crew member character, a portrait in Space Merchant, where our artist will actually kind of draw you as an alien. And so that is something that right now there's not too many entries, so it's a great chance to do that. And then one last thing, for most of you that know on Discord and as well as on Reddit, Ben Zeldin, who his actual name Dennis, he has been working on Merchant with us for I think 2-3 years now, quite some time, probably 3 years. He could not join us because he is based in Minsk, Belarus. And as I'm sure many of you have already heard, there is issues of civil unrest there. There are protesters filling the streets over unright political corruption. And just as a quick announcement, and I don't know, I haven't told Dennis this, but Retora is going to donate its lifetime of revenue that it has ever received from Belarus to a donation link that Petah is going to post in the Twitch chat. So if anyone else is willing to contribute, it would go a long way. This is helping protesters, people who have lost their jobs due to protesting. This is something where, like, as a company, we 100% support rights to protest. And since this one affects one of our devs, like, we're there for him and we're there for the protesters. So we're going to donate every penny we've ever made from Belarus back into Belarus. Thanks, Dennis. Best of luck. Keep safe out there. And so that wraps it for my State of the Union. Do you want to open it up to the Q&A now, Petah?
Yeah. Okay, so now to get on to what we're all really here for, merchant guilds. We had a long ARG over the course of about a month where everyone was picking at what was going to happen. I'm glad to say that for the majority, the idea of a new game wasn't tossed around. Am I correct on that? Everybody thought it was going to be an update, and then we hit them with brand new game. So it's like, yes, we have that one. There were people who completely figured out the ARG and they did it quick too. So it's like, well, at least we have that one. Okay, so your guys' questions that have been submitted via Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, all that. Thank you so much for your questions. It really, really keeps us devs aware as to what you guys are interested and what you guys want from the community, our loyal player base. So please, every time we do one of these dev streams, we're going to be taking questions. We'll be answering them here from the community. So if you are curious about something, please go ahead, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and just we'll post all of those upcoming information about the dev streams, about the questions. Everything will be posted there. Keep yourself in the loop. Go ahead, follow us at Retora Games. Okay, let us begin. I'm super excited. Let us begin. So, what are your plans for graphics? 2D panels like Merchant, first person, isometric? Mario?
Unfortunately not first person.
No?
But
VR.
I like to think of it as maybe like, sort of the Super Nintendo game to the NES that Merchant might be. So like making it really feel like a proper sequel in terms of updating that art.
Right.
Yeah, making it look juicy.
Right, yeah. For an FPS, right? Because that's what we're developing. Right.
First person FPS MMO in VR.
Exactly.
Where you're a merchant, you fire gold coins at people.
Okay, next question is, can merchant players expect the same core gameplay with added coordination between guild members? Jeshua?
Can you repeat the question?
Can merchant players expect the same core gameplay with added coordination between guild members?
Coordination. Short answer is yes. Coordination part, we'll see.
We can't reveal everything. There's gotta be some
There's
build
things
up.
coming.
There's some
There's
build
exciting
up.
things.
Tease a little, yeah.
We can't give you the like this is the game plan for the game and then release it 9 months later. There's pacing.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a merchant sequel if we didn't do the same core gameplay. So
All right. It's gonna be very true to what everyone knows and loves.
Well, then that ties into our next question a little bit. Well, what about new items and enemies? Will there be new items and enemies? Terry, do you have any input on that?
Yeah, so like Joshua said, like the gist and the heart of merchant will still be there, but yes, there will be new items and enemies. I'm not gonna say exactly what they are, but it's gonna be more. It's gonna be cool and fun and more.
do you wanna
That's
wanna
awesome.
talk about any monster ideas that excited you?
Like, am
If
I allowed
anyone-
to say specifically?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't mean they're going in the game. Just if there were any excited you, and also for Twitch, if anyone has fun, crazy ideas for monsters, throw them into the chat.
We love
But
suggestions.
Terry, when you had the prospect to work on new monsters in the merchant realm, what was like the thing that you were like, oh, I want to make this?
Oh, okay. So, what you guys tasked me to do is just like make a whole bunch of monsters. We might use them, we might not. I loved making like this like spooky mermaid thing. She had like hair everywhere and like she had this long tail. It's not like one of those like pretty sexy mermaids. It's like a mermaid that you want to kill because you're supposed to kill it.
Siren or
Like a
something
siren,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Siren.
I love her, and I hope you guys get to see her.
Yeah,
This is awesome.
Were there any items on the topic of making new content? Was there any item related things that you were excited about in our experimentation phase? Keep in mind, everyone, this is all still very experimenting, trying different
Experimentation.
No
ideas.
promises.
Experimentation.
All experience.
No promises.
Even if we say this is coming, you can't.
Even
You
if I
It might
promise
not.
it, no promise.
can't
I'm a
trust
big
us.
fan of the Grocks.
Yeah.
Gonna
So
be
Yeah.
pulling in Grocks.
so Terry and Jeshua worked together on coming up with a lot of the new items and enemies. And so it was a team effort to pick what items would make sense gameplay wise, and then Terry doing like cool variations of the art. So maybe this is a question to the two of you together, but like, was there any one in particular that you both were just like, yes, that sounds like fun? Again, may not end up in the game, but
What I really enjoyed was like I called up Jeshua and we just looked up like what are as many medieval kind of weapons we can find, and like we just tried to make one of everything we saw online. Some of them were super weird and some of them are like, expected. I think one of my favorite joke items, he already mentioned this, but like the Grock Crocs.
Grock Crocs.
Grocks.
Grock Crocs. Are they just
Crocs.
crocodile heads you put your feet into?
No, they're Crocs, but with Grock's color scheme.
Oh my god. Are they
Grock
made of Grock though?
I
hope
don't
not.
know.
I would
I
hope not. Don't
find
hurt
out
That's
poor
the
who,
question,
Grock.
right? It's like, are they organic? Are they vegan only?
Grock's organic.
Grock doesn't tell. Grock doesn't tell secrets.
Is it
Grock will
organic
never
or is
tell.
is the word you're looking for poached?
Vegan
Free range.
I realized I was muted for that question, so I'm going to repeat that question. Compared to the original merchant game, how much content will there be to do? Will there be more expansive tiers and maybe RNG-dependent items like an ARPG, or will all items be pre-made? Mario, do you have a...
I think we're probably going to stick with pre-made, but as far as content, we're hoping to expand a lot of that, building off of what we've got in the original game, maybe into new categories. I think nunchucks were tossed around as a possible weapon type. But I'm excited to take what we've got and just make it bigger and better. Like maps being only able to scroll up and like vertically, experimenting with X and Y scrollability.
The second dimension.
Yeah, the second dimension is exciting. Or something even as neat and perhaps lore building as like a like cohesive world map. I think would be fun to explore.
I think I was sort of surprised at how many people during the ARG said that they loved the idea of having a storyline or having like a world story in Merchant.
Mhm.
I never felt like Merchant was a game that needed it. And so I was kind of shocked at the amount of mentions of people being like, it would be cool if like there was story to this. So I think what Mario's working on in that direction is like really building a world out of this and not just having some like pretty art that you tap on to kill monsters. Now there's a reason to kill the monsters.
So you heard it here first. Tyler is promising that we're going to have lore in the game, okay? Now you can clip that, you can save that, you can use it against him. Like that's a thing now.
New soundbite.
More dialogue than Disco Elysium.
That is adorable. What kind of cat is that?
This is my cat, Zebulon.
Oh, hello, hi. Okay. New mascot for Retora, Zebulon. Next question is, what is a guild in merchant guilds? Like, what can I do with my friends? Like, what is a guild? That's a good question. It's one that we haven't addressed that we should.
Yep. This is a big one, so I'll take it. So a guild is, as you'd expect in any kind of MMO world, a group of players that can join together to do various actions, specifically actions that can only be done through the guild gameplay. So we are very much in the stage right now where we're experimenting with kind of the long-term goals for this. And I'm sure you all have played mobile games, and especially mobile, but now with Steam and early access. What comes out with the first 1.0 is not going to be the end of this game, right? Every couple months, every year, we'll have big updates adding new things you can do, new ways to play with your guilds. And so what we're really looking at right now is like, we'd obviously want to do all the great ideas of things you can do with the guild. So we're looking at which ones are the best for what Merchant is, the gameplay that Merchant is, which ones just like really synergize with Merchant gameplay the best, to focus on those as the first things that we have available in our kind of first full release of this game. And then we have this space to expand and add new interesting things. So, a lot of the obvious stuff, raid bosses and special dungeon events and, working together to complete goals. Like there's a lot of variations of that we're kind of playing with right now to figure out which ones just feel right for this type of game. But it is, it will have chat in game. You can talk with people in an in-game guild chat. You can create a guild, join a guild, quit a guild. We'll have to have some sort of officer member system for who can decide, who gets added and kicked. One of the other big things that I'm not going to say with any absolute certainty, but we're definitely going to make it at least the type chat that we're using for guilds will be an expanded font, which means if you are not English speaking or prefer to use another language that has accents or something in Cyrillic or anything like that, you'll be able to talk in those languages. But I don't want to say with any certainty when we will have the game localized, because that is part of the long-term plan. But at least a guild can join. You could join a guild of a native tongue if it isn't English for you. So that's guilds. I think that covers a lot of the basics of it. We have a couple more questions coming up that are more on like how guilds interact. So we'll cover that in more depth.
Yeah. So the next question is, in what way do you think the mechanics of Merchant will change? I can do this one real quick. The mechanics of Merchant, well, everything's in testing. So we can't definitively say like, hey, it's going to be like this, but we're moving away from the hardcore grind per se, and we can't say everything, but the designating certain characters to basically just do Golem and Treant in every region of the map, that you won't have to worry about that anymore. That one
Yeah.
we can say that one we'll get rid of. Not
Sure.
saying that we're getting rid of the resources. We're not getting rid of the two. We're just there will be new things that take care of you. And again, that one will be revealed at a later date, so we can't talk about that one. But that kind of ties into the next questions of like, well, how will multiplayer be introduced? And I can answer that one too. The multiplayer is essentially the guild system. So make no mistake, this is a multiplayer game. It's merchant guilds. You need to be in guilds. You don't have to be in guilds, right? But I would, if you played the base game, I would very much allure it to like prestiging. You can accomplish a lot of the game, a lot of the base merchant game, without prestiging your characters ever. You can get all the way through the Badlands. But when you start getting to like the DLC and you start getting to the more expansive regions, it is really, really tough to do anything.
Yeah.
And that's basically what we're aiming for with the guilds as well. We're not going to force you to play with people, but know that this is a multiplayer game, and cooperation and working together as a team is always going to reap like higher benefits. So
think of it like an MMO, like World of Warcraft or anything like that. Is you can fly solo through most of WoW's content, but if you want that end game, you gotta have a group. You have to have a raid group. You have to have a team to work with. So, I mean, in the way that Merchant's built as like an idle version of an ARPG or an MMO like WoW, it's the same truth to those games, right?
And it's not like we'll have a system where it's like, oh, I do not enjoy this. It'll be enjoyable to, like, we'll make it fun, obviously. It's not going to be like, oh my God, these people are like slowing me down. It's like, no, it'll be cooperative, it'll be engaging, and, be a way to build new friendships for sure. So this next question is, this one's nice. It's about us. What is the team size working on a game? So what is our team size, Terry?
Terry. You're muted.
You're muted.
Oh no.
Hello.
There you go. You're good.
Hi.
Okay, so that's everyone you see in the stream right now. Me and Mario, we do art. Jeshua, you do scripting and design. Petah does PR stuff, Discord stuff. Tyler, you pretty much everything. And
Everything and nothing.
Pretty much everything.
there's also Dennis and Garrett, which I'm pretty sure they do a whole lot of scripting stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And which they can't be here right now. But
Yeah.
that's everyone. And Cricket, of course, does lots of really good help with PR stuff.
She's in the chat right now, Foxy_Prime.
Yeah, she's right there.
Amazing.
Yeah. So it's a small team. Little group.
Ragtag bunch.
It is. It's like, we're like the Avengers, just no superpowers that we know of anyway.
Who's Hawkeye?
I've told you.
Probably me. I do. Like, let's be real. In terms of like developing the game, what do I do from like social media and PR, like CM?
Yeah.
Nothing. I'm the guy with the bow. Like, I don't know any coding. I don't know any. I can't draw anything. Like, literally a dude with a bow and arrow surrounded by superheroes that can like lift
you could
cars.
also you could say you're Nick Fury, because you get to tell everyone.
Isn't that
you're the
you,
one who
though?
spreads the word.
That's kind of you, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So this next question is there going to be some kind of raid function for guilds to do, either on their own, multiple guilds working together? I'm assuming they're talking about like raiding a single boss or like raiding a region. Yeah.
So to my previous point of we're experimenting with a lot of stuff. The one thing I think that makes the most sense with a merchant-like game is that guilds should be largely cooperative. Internally within the guild, you're working with your guild members. That's an obvious thing. Pretty much any game with guilds, it's a co-op internally with the guild. And what we're really trying to do is really hone in on that gameplay first. So lots of stuff you can do with your team, with your guild, to work together to solve problems, to get better content, to get better equipment. The step 2 on that is then how can guilds interface with each other? Can guilds fight? Can guilds work together as larger groups of guilds? Like, kind of once you have one guild as a unit, how does it interface with other guilds? Is kind of the step 2 of once we have really good cooperative internal guild gameplay, and you feel comfortable hanging out with your friends in a guild, and I'll be quite honest, if that works really well and we have a lot of fun with it, and we just find that like it doesn't feel right to add PvP, then we'll just keep doing really cool ways for guilds to work together. But that might mean eventually, 10 guilds coming together to defeat Super Boss, right? It may stay largely cooperative if we find that that's just what works for us. So we're experimenting with it, and this is one of the reasons why we did the ARG, to get beta players, and because like a team of 5, we can't really test, what's it like when 5 guilds play together, because we're only 5 people. We don't have enough humans here to test that. So this is why we're revealing this early, and we're kind of getting the community hands-on at a very early stage. Is we need a large player base. We don't have that within our dev team. We can't afford a massive QA farm like big AAA studios. So we need help from y'all to like play it with us and be like, oh yeah, no, I loved the PvP. You have to keep it in. Like I need someone to tell us that, to validate that it's worth having. So the short answer is most likely yes, there will be at least internally guild cooperative raids. Multiple guilds working together is something we'll experiment with at a later point.
Awesome. Okay, so this next question is, will merchant guilds be cross-platform? Cross-platform. Will it be cross-platform? Jeshua?
So we are developing for mobile and PC like we always have, and you will be able to join guilds cross-platform.
That's exciting.
Obviously, we focus on the mobile side, but Steam will not be forgotten, as no one can forget Steam.
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
Okay, so this is an interesting and important question. Are there going to be microtransactions?
Yep. Yeah, there will be. I'm not gonna beat around the bush on that one. There will be microtransactions. One of the predominant reasons for that kind of change from how merchant works is because when you have an online game, you have costs for every new player. All that chat, every action you do in the game, communicating with servers, that racks up a bill. A merchant, the current game, every player who downloads it, plays for a few days, decides they didn't, want to spend any money, doesn't hurt me, right? Financially, we break even. But someone joins a guild, plays for 5 days, gets their friends to join, they all chat and they play for, hours and hours, and they play, let's say 100 hours a piece, and they've never spent a penny. That costs money to me at that point. And so to offset that cost, there has to be more monetization. Now, with that said, I'm still very intent on keeping the monetization on what I would consider the more like ethical side, like where I can go to sleep at night not feeling like I'm cheating players. So I'm looking at ways to have limited monetization, limited in-app purchases, not, players can't spend thousands of dollars in a week to become the best guild ever. Like there will be a structure where you've kind of spent the most that you can, or a guild has spent the most that they can, and there is a threshold. So it's not just an arms race of money, but it will be higher for those who want to spend in this compared to merchant. And again, it's just the cost of running something like this would drain me to bankruptcy if we didn't increase the monetization. The amount of money merchant makes per person would not survive an MMO. It would send me to bankruptcy within a year. So we have to increase it, or it just will die within a couple months. So
I think that's a fair statement. Okay, well, now moving on to this question, which is very, very different vein. Will we be able to keep our current heroes into this new update? I'll answer this one. The short answer is no. The long answer is also no. This is a brand new game. We're not going to be porting over any save files. I understand that people have worked very, very hard on their accounts, more hard than like I have even on my account. And I've just started prestiging a few characters, and getting into that like later game mentality and space and area and all that. But at the end of the day, this is an entirely separate game. So nothing's happening to the first game. It's not like we're it's not like we're pulling the plug on the first game. It's not like we're it's suddenly going to disappear off of your device. The first game will still be there. But this is meant to be a brand new game. When this game gets officially released, it is, everyone's at ground zero. Everyone's at even.
Yep.
Even. I would combine the words even and level. Even
New
level
paragraph
playing
system.
field. Yeah.
Everybody starts evil, and it's a goal to get to good.
Everyone starts on equal playing ground. So it's just like all your new heroes that you will be recruiting and whatnot, it'll have to be all from the ground back up, which should be fun, honestly. Just like everyone trying to race to who can get to be the most OP first.
So if anyone's wondering why not just add this multiplayer to the current game, that's one of the main reasons we decided to start fresh. Is adding multiplayer to a game where a ton of people are already at endgame doesn't really do much good, and it essentially breaks it for a lot of new players, where they join a guild and someone just showers them with the best items in the game, and like, what's the point? So when we decided we were going to do multiplayer, it came down to a couple reasons why it needed to be a new game, and this is one of them. Was that the folks that have double prestiged items on double prestige heroes, like, we can push the end game a little further with a multiplayer, but the whole multiplayer system is only going to give them, a little bit of benefit versus starting fresh, where they get to start clean slate, brand new content, brand new reason to play. So, yeah, it should be noted, though, one of the things we'd love to experiment with is to find a way to reward people who play the original Merchant in the new one. So,
All right, fantastic. So what about quality of sorry. Will there be any new heroes?
Jeshua.
We are thinking about it and would love suggestions. It definitely thinking about it as ways to freshen up how some of the current heroes build, and definitely find new ways to build teams around new heroes. So if anyone has any suggestions, any homebrews out there,
Homebrews. Yeah. Add us.
send them out.
Yeah, add us Twitter, Facebook, Discord, Reddit. Just like say, hey, this is a really cool idea. What do you guys think? Like, we're reading all these posts. We're like, it's a small team, but also it's not like we're a massive community either, right? It's like we read everything. We read everything. So whatever you say is like we see it.
What's everyone's favorite, like, just absolutely favorite hero class in a game? That's what I want to know. If you're listening later,
Peasant,
on YouTube,
farmer.
Yeah.
If
Farmer.
you think ice
Peasant
ninjas
farmer,
would be really
yeah.
cool,
Ice
like-
Ninja. No.
let us know.
I'm just saying, it's like all those games where it's like medieval warfare and everyone's walking around with like stupid heavy armor, and I'm a peasant farmer and running circles around them with a pitchfork.
Yeah.
I'm being serious. Being serious.
If you think Keanu Reeves should be a hero class, let us know.
I've always loved the like Technomancer, the kind of like
Oh yeah, those are cool.
the steampunk
Oh yeah.
version of the engineer from
Yeah.
TF2. Like,
Yeah.
that's always appealed to me. Again, this doesn't mean they're going in the game. Just
Right,
I've always
right.
loved it.
But it
It'd be
means
really
they're going
cool
in the game.
if
Got
we
an
had
age.
like long range or mounted units.
Oh, like cavalry?
Maybe.
Like a knight on horseback? Ooh.
Or maybe like you give each hero like their own small army and they get to.
Mario, what's yours?
Nomadic archer, maybe? Like a
I'm a
horseback?
fan of like the monster rancher type classes
Yeah.
that capture monsters.
Just a belt of Pokeballs.
So Pokemon, yeah, Pokemon. How the fuck we all went for Pokemon, yeah. All right, this next question is, how can I sign up for beta testing? Mailing list. Retora mailing list. When we get to the point where it's like, okay, we have a playable like early access or just like beta, whatever. We have a playable version of Merchant that we want some player feedback on, Merchant guilds, that is. Then first thing that we'll do is we'll look at members of the community, and we'll also look at that mailing list. In that mailing list for Retora, is where all of your relevant information goes out. Some of you should have received an email last night talking about today's stream, actually, with questions, with the form that you could submit questions for. And then just also staying connected basically on all of our social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Insta, Discord, Reddit. We will not be shy about saying like, hey, this is your chance to play the game. We need some help here. So just stay connected, just like keep in the loop, and then don't worry. When the time comes, you will know. I promise. If you keep yourself in the loop and connected, you will know. I promise.
That's a good follow-up question for the next one.
Right. So when are we going to have a playable test, I guess? So the person that gets to answer this scary question is none other than the wonderful Mario.
When it's ready. I'm excellent at answering that. When it's ready.
Soon, TM.
TM. Yeah. We said on the announcement like 2021. It's like when it's ready.
20x, yeah.
20x, yeah. So the last and most important question from the initial question pool is, will Grock be in merchant guilds? Terry, will Grock be in merchant guilds?
I'm so glad you asked, because we specifically have a part where you go and kill Grock. He won't be in the rest of the game, but he will be in the beginning of the game. Now Grock's going to be in it.
The tutorial is to just literally murder Grock.
Tear him limb from limb.
The tutorial is just Grock's origin story of why, he hates war and violence. This is because... Oh, man. Okay, so thank you so much for everyone who submitted the questions for us to answer today. We really appreciate it. We love your feedback. We love your concerns. We love to know where your guys' heads are as we're moving forward with the games. So we had some great Twitch chat questions as well that, Terry, thank you for pulling those real quick. We'll take a look at some of them. First question is, will we see realm bosses that have guild global health? Like, you go there to die. Well...
I can kind of feel that one. So Mario and I have been working on whether we can achieve that, both aesthetically and just like game design wise. So it's something that we're currently toying with a way to show it in the world, kind of in the environment. So possibly we'll see how those experiments turn out.
It's a great suggestion. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Where is it getting localized to? The game.
Why?
Merchant guilds.
Why? Cricket, why?
Cricket, why? Why right now? TBD.
So I will say we've talked a lot about localizing the original Merchant, and there are kind of languages that we've generally wanted to focus on. If you're in the Discord, all the channels that we have in international, those are all kind of like the top list of languages I would push to. It's German, Spanish, French, Polish, Portuguese, and Russian. And that comes from based on how many people have already downloaded the game, like where we've seen traction. And then if we localize and it does well, then more languages would come. The big challenge for localizing the original Merchant is that there's so many places where the text is built for the very specific space. And the moment languages have different amount of letters or, different sizes for those words, we have to like redo the UI or completely squish the font down to nothing. So we're building the UI for merchant guilds with the intention of being able to localize. We're building in advance with preparing to solve for that problem. So we won't have that issue with guilds. And so when it comes time to make that call to localize, it'll be easier to do so.
Awesome.
I hope that answers the question.
Okay. This next one is how often are you doing merchant versus space merchant streams? Well, that one, I guess I can answer that one. That one is based off of really obviously we realized that we wanted to do some dev streams just for communication with the community, and then like, you know, answering questions and, you know, making us more personable as to like the faces behind the games. So the first one that we did, Space Merchant Melios update, is already coming out, so we wanted to talk about that. It's not a set pattern, but you can definitely expect that the majority of streams that we will have, it will be probably one or the other. If there are important updates, and then obviously we'll also have guests on who are developers for other games, right? And we'll be chatting and talking about them, talking about their projects. I would very much look at this more of as like, this is Retora stream. Anything Retora related is game for discussion or for its stream on its own. But the pattern will be every 2 weeks ish, roughly, as a stream. But we could also get to the point where we're doing once a week. So
we'll definitely also have one day with Guildmasters on at some point, and Various with Merchant Heroes. Like anything that Retora is involved in, like this is a chance to talk about those projects. So it is very much the Retora stream, not the Merchant stream, as Petah said.
Okay. How do you add a battle sloth to Merchant?
Phil.
How do you do it, Phil? Phil, this is a very important question from a very important man. It needs to be answered. Jeshua, how do you add a battle sloth to Merchant? Please.
I hope
Phil,
that was not muted.
So we understand that if we add battle sloths, that means we'll be murdering battle sloths. Or they could be a hero class.
Yeah, are
could be a hero
battle
class.
sloths on the international endangered species? Is that something we have to check?
They put people
might
on the endangered species list.
Let's see.
Hey, you know what? Blizzard did the whole panda race. We could do a sloth race.
Jesus
That is a
Christ.
good point. Blizzard
That's
can do
true.
it.
That's
Right?
true.
It's true.
New sloth class.
New sloth
Yeah.
class. There's
Takes
insane
twice as
amount.
long to finish. mission.
Exactly.
We'll include it in experimentation.
Experimentation. Yeah. We'll file it away. And the last question is: will Grock level up and become a merchant? Well, will they, Terry?
Unfortunately, Grock, he's a little tired of killing things all day. He is much more interested in more domestic matters.
Wow.
Yeah, he
Wow.
he doesn't want to. He's sick of killing things. He's
Interesting.
I don't want to say like elevated, but he's
Better than us. Yeah. Yeah.
He's part of the Goblin 1%.
so Grock will be in the game, but he has a new hobby.
Yeah. A new lifetime career goal.
Yeah. Exciting.
And then you tear him apart in the beginning.
No.
And then the battle sloth.
Jesus Christ. We're going to have all this backstory of like, yeah, so Grock went from like, you know, being a murdering goblin like the rest of them to, you know, being elevated. He picked up a book off of the guy he killed one day. You know, he educated himself.
university.
He went to university. He got a PhD. You know, he, you know, fixed some power problems and like, you know, water purity problems. He's a self-built man. And at the very start of Merchant Guilds, kill him immediately.
I think I'd be
Nominated for
willing
a Nobel.
to make it canon that Grock is kind of our Doctor Who character that just has infinite lives and comes back as various forms. You can even search the web for the very early version of Grock where he's a barbarian, not even a goblin. So Grock has already had at least 2 forms. So
I'm so sorry to like the people that are in charge of the wiki because they're just getting like so much misinformation from this stream.
What are you talking about? Everything's factual.
This is
Well,
actually
I thought-
this is actually
I
going to be
thought
more
Grock was
convoluted.
like Donkey Kong. the original Donkey Kong, the new Donkey Kong.
All we're learning is that Merchant Guild's lore and Merchant lore is just going to be basically worse than Metal Gear Solid. Okay. So I think that brings our discussion to a close, our Q&A to a close. Thank you so much, everyone, for submitting your questions. We really appreciate hearing everything. I've said this a million times, so thank you. Okay, next, we're just going to move on to a very quick and brief community report. So there will be activity around the new content coming up. Merchant Guilds, super excited. I'm going to be doing some stuff. I'm really excited. There are some things that may be coming into the works soon. Maybe some new playable potentially playable things. So for merchant like save files, so that should be really exciting. We'll get more to that later. Again, follow where you're gonna get most of that information is just Twitter and Discord specifically. Those are my babies. You will get everything you need to know from the Twitter and Discord. So just go ahead and remember follow. And then eventually, this is not immediately, but coming up soon, we will be recruiting moderator staff for Discord, Reddit, and Steam. We, especially with Merchant now evolving to also be or Retora evolving to encompass multiplayer games, we expect more engagement. We expect more active engagement amongst the community, like on a day-to-day, like minute to minute, hour to hour. So we will be definitely looking for some moderation staff for Discord, Steam, Reddit. We will be posting all of these like ahead of time, and so you don't need to have that much experience. It's just if you feel like you really like the community and want to give back a little bit to it and support and help. I mean, that's how I got started. Is just go ahead and go ahead and submit. I'll look at it. I'll like you. We'll talk. Next is recruiting for guilds beta testing. Again, mailing list, all of our socials. We will let you know. Just please keep yourself in the loop on that, and just like follow at least one of our platforms, and you'll be notified as soon as we're ready to go for that. And then the last thing is the ARG is finished. Yay. We all know what Merchant Guilds is. But now we have something new and exciting. This is not Merchant Guilds, actually. This is Space Merchant. We're doing a Space Merchant portrait giveaway. If you've seen some of our posts on Instagram and on Twitter recently, you'll see that for Space Merchant, we have crews coming out, and we're doing alienified portraits of different crew members. All of the Space Merchant dev team got their faces alienified, and they were actually really amazing. So we wanted to give that opportunity to not only alienify your portrait, but also put you in the game. And we're trying to do that with community members. If you want to enter, you just got to go to Facebook or Twitter, and there will be a post for the giveaway. All you have to do is make sure that you're either following and liking the either page, and then also retweet or share / comment on the post. And if you do that, you're in.
Sorry, if anyone's curious, the link I just posted in the chat as well. We tweeted and posted to Facebook about this not too long ago when we did our Space Merchant stream, and you can see from that Petah's alienified version. So you can tell us which Petah you prefer, Alien Petah or normal RL Petah.
I can tell you my mother was not happy. She was like, she clutched. No, she was not happy. She was like, what is this?
My baby boy.
I thought I looked amazing. I shared it with my friends. They're like, this is incredibly uncomfortable. I'm like, what are you talking about? I look awesome.
Yeah, you look like a Star Trek character.
I look like Spock if Spock was like, not such a downer all the time. Okay, so that brings our wonderful stream to a close. Thank you, everyone, for coming in and listening and participating. We really appreciate you. Thank you, Jeshua, Terry, Tyler, and Mario for joining me. The next stream is TBD. You can assume sometime in the next 2 weeks. Within the next 2 weeks, we'll definitely have a set date. It will probably be in the next 2-3 weeks for the next stream, unless you have some information, Tyler. Do I have that right?
Yeah, I will give this little nugget. I've talked to a couple of game devs of some other kind of friends of Retora about doing kind of like a co-stream with them. So that's in the mix. So you can expect that as upcoming streams. But it's just a matter of setting a date and figuring out what works for everyone's schedules. So
okay, awesome.
Look forward to that. Fantastic.
And then again, our socials. I've beaten it to hell, I'm sorry, but our socials we are on all the socials: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Discord, Reddit. Follow us, keep yourself in the loop for that. To submit questions for the next upcoming dev stream, every post will have an attached Google form link, but we also look at our Reddit and we look at conversations and people talking about things on Reddit, and then take that into consideration as well when we're formatting questions, or sometimes we'll just take questions directly from the Reddit. So, if you want to have your opinion or a question be like thrown out there and for us to see it, Reddit is a good place to do that. Okay, thank you so much for joining us, everyone. We really appreciate you as always, and we'll hope to see you next time. Thank you so much for coming by. Bye, guys.
See ya.
Bye.